cut the cards. Hey!
You said to cut the cards?
Welcome once again, my fellow manipulators of digital fate. I'm Richie, this is Capricorn. Today we're back at it with another standard deck tech straight out of Tarkir Dragonstorm. And this one's a doozy. We went undefeated. This deck is called Consul Cutter. Why? Because we're using 𝑇𝑒𝑟𝑟𝑎𝑛𝑐𝑒 combined with Cori-Steel Cutter in the same deck. Almost everything in the deck plays things from exile to trigger the 𝑇𝑒𝑟𝑟𝑎𝑛𝑐𝑒. And almost everything in the deck allows us to get so much card advantage that we're double spelling every single turn to trigger our Cori-Steel Cutters. The deck is insanely aggressive, but at the same time, it just never runs out of value, ever. It just constantly has card advantage because of all of the ways to just exile, play things from exile. It's just absolutely insane. You have to see it in action. I'm not even going to drag this intro out because you just have to see it in action. We went undefeated, guys. This deck is absolutely bananas. Before we break down the deck and get to the gameplay, please like the video. It does make a huge difference. It does help me get the video out to more people and helps the channel to grow. So you guys that have been doing it every single video, thank you, thank you, thank you. Subscribe if you're new so you never miss an upload. Tons of craziness on the way. You can catch me live Monday through Friday over on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/quarantinedcapricorn. Because if I'm alive and I'm breathing, I'm there and I'm streaming. Now let's do the damn thing. Alright, this deck is absolutely insane. We went back to 𝑇𝑒𝑟𝑟𝑎𝑛𝑐𝑒 Consul of Revival, and we mixed it with Cori-Steel Cutter. So we're trying to double spell, and we're trying to play things from exile, and it works extremely well. So 𝑇𝑒𝑟𝑟𝑎𝑛𝑐𝑒, 2 mana, 2/3, Thopters you control have haste. Whenever you play a land from exile or cast a spell from exile, you create a 1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creature token with flying. So the more we can play from exile, the more Thopters we can create. They all have flying, they all have haste. It gets insanely aggressive, especially with all of the ways that this deck has to pump up the power of those Thopters. But then we're also playing Cori-Steel Cutter. Get these onto the battlefield, and then all of those cards that we're playing from exile, we're playing multiple spells a turn. We're also triggering the Cori-Steel Cutter, going super wide with tokens from the Cutter, in addition to the tokens from 𝑇𝑒𝑟𝑟𝑎𝑛𝑐𝑒. The Cutter itself being a 2 mana artifact equipment that when you cast your second spell each turn creates a 1/1 prowess monk creature token, and then you can equip this to it for free if you'd like, and then it gives +1/+1 trample and haste to whatever it's equipped to. Absolutely nuts, because the tokens you've already made are going to get prowess triggers, and then the new token's going to get the Cori-Steel Cutter equipped, so no matter what, all of your tokens are pretty beefy swinging in. And then we have Invasion of Gobakhan, which is a card that most people have forgotten about, and it's so good still, and it's super good in this deck. 2 mana, we get to exile something from their hand, and they have to spend more to cast it later, so we really mess with their curve, but then we immediately attack in and flip it into the Light Shield Array. This does a few things. First of all, casting 1 Invasion of Gobakhan and then swinging in and flipping the Light Shield Array counts as a second spell, because the Light Shield Array itself counts as a spell being cast from exile for free after we exile the Invasion of Gobakhan. So we get to trigger our double spell things and create another Cori-Steel Cutter token if we haven't already. But it also counts as casting a spell from exile when we actually flip to the Light Shield Array, because again, it's exiling the Gobakhan and then playing the Light Shield Array for free from exile. So we get to trigger our 𝑇𝑒𝑟𝑟𝑎𝑛𝑐𝑒 with it as well. And then all of those tokens are getting counters every single turn that they attack, just stacking up from the Light Shield Array. And at any point in time, we can sack the Light Shield Array to protect our board and keep everything alive by giving it all hexproof and indestructible. So Light Shield Array is absolutely nuts. Another way we have of buffing up all of the tokens we're creating in this deck is Defaced Gallery, which is a part of the room Painter Studio and Defaced Gallery. 2 mana for an enchantment room. Whenever you attack, attacking creatures you control get +1/+0 until end of turn. That essentially doubles the power of all the Thopters we're making. It helps boost up the tokens we're making from the Cutter that much more. But then we also have, for 3 mana, the Painter Studio, which when we're out of gas, we can unlock to exile the top 2 cards of our library, and then we get to play them until the end of our next turn. So that gives us 2 potential spells to play to double spell and trigger the Cori-Steel Cutter, but also cards to play from exile to trigger the Pia Nalaar. You can see where this is going. On top of that, we have some absolute gas. We are splashing green in this deck for 2 important cards. First of all, Questing Druid. We're mostly running this for Seek the Beast. For 2 mana, the adventure side of this at instant speed allows us to exile the top 2 cards of our library, and until our next end step, we can play those cards. Super easy to double spell as soon as we have 3 or 4 mana off of Seek the Beast. It almost guarantees a double spell. Even if this card is the last card in your hand, you can almost guarantee you're double spelling with it, but then it also exiles the Questing Druid, which contributes to more double spelling later on down the line, and also is something that we're playing from exile. So the 2 cards that we exile with Seek the Beast we're playing from exile to trigger Pia. The Questing Druid itself we're playing from exile to trigger the Pia, and all of it is stuff that contributes to second spells, so that we never stop triggering our Cori-Steel Cutters and making tokens with that. It gets absolutely bananas, and then the other card we're splashing green for to push it even further is Rocco, Street Chef. At the beginning of your end step, each player exiles the top card of their library. Until your next end step, each player may play the card they exiled this way, and whenever a player plays a land from exile or casts a spell from exile, you put a +1/+1 counter on any creature and create a food token. The food token helps us race other aggro decks by giving us an almost endless supply of life, but more importantly, the counters just start to stack up and stack up and stack up, and we get those counters off of our opponents playing cards from exile in addition to us playing cards from exile. So not only are we triggering all the stuff that we're trying to trigger anyway, and then spitting out counters left and right, most notably putting them on our Thopters, because our opponents, the least likely to try to kill our Thopters, they're going to want to hit a creature that's more valuable, and then having that much more damage output on our evasive counter, our evasive token creatures is super, super good. But Rocco gets even better because it'll trigger off your opponent's spells, so that Invasion of Gobakhan that was already absolutely insane in this deck, now it's even better, because when they eventually cast that thing from exile that you originally exiled with the Gobakhan, made it cost 2 more, it counts as them playing a card from exile. It's going to trigger your Rocco. If you have Rocco out, you're going to get another counter, you're going to get another food token. It gets crazy. Obviously, they have access to other cards that are in exile every turn from Rocco that they get to play, so they get some card advantage, but you're still getting the counters and the food tokens off that. But you're also getting counters every single time you play something from exile yourself, which is what this deck does just constantly, which is nuts. We've also got 1 Inti. It's another way to dig deeper into our deck and set ourselves up with things that we can play from exile. We've got 3 Collector's Cages. I didn't want to go super deep with all 4 copies because we do need creatures to make them valuable. That being said, it's absolutely worth running. Not only can it count as a 2 mana spell that's going to, trigger our double spell stuff like Cori-Steel Cutter, but it also hides away a card, which means once we have 3 creatures out and we start piling counters on our creatures with the Collector's Cage, we get to play something from exile for free, which not only counts as playing something from exile for Pia and Rocco, but also helps us cast a double spell in turns where it might cost all of our mana to play the 1 spell that we can play from our hand. Well, now we can just play the thing under the Collector's Cage for free, and it's that much easier to double spell to trigger the Cori-Steel Cutter. So Collector's Cage gets us an insane amount of value as well. Not to mention just putting counters on our creatures, because we have so many creatures and we're being so aggressive in this deck, is just good to begin with. In addition to everything else we've already talked about, we have a whole bunch of 1-drops that just push this deck the extra mile and give us just more chances at double spelling. So we're going to run 1 Kellan Planar Trailblazer. I don't want to run more than 1 of this because it is legendary, but it is a card that once we start investing mana into it and level it up, it lets us exile cards from the top of our library and play from exile whenever we deal combat damage to the opponent. And we can also eventually give it double strike, so it can deal damage twice in the same turn and exile 2 cards. So it is a nice way of fueling some of our synergies. 4 Clockwork Percussionists. It's just a way to get another body onto the table early and quickly for something like Collector's Cage or all the ways that we're pumping up our creatures. It's got haste, but then if they do happen to kill it, we get to exile another card to play from exile. Again, helps us with our double spelling because it's a 1 mana thing that maybe lets us play another thing, and it lets us play things from exile for Pia. Just everything in this deck doubles down on both synergies, and it's absolutely nuts. We're running 4 copies of Mishra's Research Desk, super cheap card that can double spell for us, allow us to play things from exile, and also counts as a non-creature, so it will additionally trigger the prowess off the Cori-Steel Cutter tokens when we play it, which is awesome. And then the last card is so perfect for this deck and so easily overlooked. Cheeky House Mouse, just a 1 mana 2/1, but that 1 mana means it's really easy to double spell with it, and it has an adventure, Squeak By. So for 1 mana, we can give one of our creatures +1/+1 until end of turn. It can't be blocked by creatures with power 3 or greater, which is some nice extra silver lining value. But the main reason we're playing this is it's so easy to double spell. This is 2 mana worth of double spelling in 1 card. Even if this is the last card in your hand, you can automatically ensure that you get to double spell by casting both sides right away for a whopping total of 2 mana, which is nuts. But also the first one is a sorcery, it triggers your prowess, and then when the Cheeky House Mouse is cast from exile, it's cast from exile, so it's going to trigger Pia Nalaar. It literally does everything the deck wants for super cheap. It's just awesome. This card is just nuts. The deck is nuts. We went undefeated. Absolutely insane. We do have a couple of interesting things in the mana base. I want to point out that we're mostly running fast lands because we just want to get a quick start and not be slowed down by lands that enter tapped. So we're running all 4 copies of Inspiring Vantage, Copperline Gorge, Razorverge Thicket. We're filling in with just a few pain lands to make sure we have those untapped sources of colored mana. We've got 1 Fabled Passage to go with just 1 mountain and 1 plains. We don't really need the forest because of the dual lands. We are only splashing our green, and we usually don't need it on curve. Like, the more important part of the Questing Druid is the Seek the Beast. We don't really need to worry about playing the Questing Druid super soon. And same thing with Rocco. Rocco's sort of like the top end, and we'll have plenty of other things to cast if we don't have our green to get a Rocco out yet. So the last couple lands we do have, 1 Fountain Port, because we are making a bunch of tokens. This gives us just an extra little bit of value to either create even more or to draw cards off of sacking our tokens or whatever the case may be. And then just 1 Mirrex, another way to spit out token creatures that can help us go wide, while also being a land that the turn it comes into play can get us the color that we need, which is sometimes super relevant. So I do like running just 1 copy of each of these instead of 2 of any one. If we were running 2 Fountain Ports and we had them both while we're curving out, that's super problematic in a 3-color deck. But I think the 1 Fountain Port and the 1 Mirrex sort of feels like just 1.5 colorless lands, and I think it works really well. So that's the deck. It's super fast. It never runs out of value, and like I said, it made us go undefeated in the 6 games that we ran it on. So you absolutely have to check out the games. Let's do it. This looks decent. We don't have any white, but it doesn't look like we need it anytime soon, so we're going to keep 7. It does stink that we're going to have to play our only 1-drop on 1. Hopefully we can draw into another one so that we can be off to the races with Cori-Steel Cutter pretty much right away. We shall see. We'll start with Kellan, the Planar Trailblazer himself. Alright. Riverpire Verge from our opponent. Is it prowess? Is it prowess? It's a good question. Alright, there's our white. This is looking better now. Let's get the Pia out there. With a little bit of luck, we can double spell next turn. If not, maybe we just Gobakhan, try to set him back. Come on, Jamaica. Jamaican me crazy. Plays his Cori-Steel Cutter. Alright, we do have... We do have what we need. This is awesome. This is awesome. We even get to play from exile with the cheeky house mouse. And we'll smash in for 5. It's too bad we don't have 2 white sources, though. I'd love to play the Gobakhan and the house mouse next turn. Maybe we just seek the beast first. Alright, he's going ham. But can he outpace us? That's the question. That is the question. Sleight of hand. Swings for 6. We are definitely keeping the advantage here. I'd love to Gobakhan, but we can't Gobakhan and double spell. I think it's better to do this. I think it's better to do this. And we might even hold back the ℂ𝕆Ⅎ𝕊𝕌𝕃 as a flyer, or as a blocker rather. Makes sense to me. Makes sense to me. No Cori-Steel Cutter for next turn, unfortunately, but I think we're far enough ahead, it probably doesn't matter. He's got stock up. That is, I think, way too slow. He can't race us with stock up. Not a chance. We're going to Questing Druid into Gobakhan, I think. We won't get to make as many ℂ𝕆𝕉s, but we get to save the house mouses for double spells on subsequent turns if we don't finish them off here. We also just get to keep our Questing Druid behind as a blocker, which is nice. Alright, he's going to shock. And you're going to put me at 6? Or are you going to leave behind a blocker? I'm going to leave behind 1 blocker. I think this is correct. We just got to try to win the race here. We just gotta try to win the race here. So we will exile something from his hand to make it really hard for him to double spell. Monstrous Rage. And then... I mean, I really, really, really want to flip that Gobakhan. Really badly. Let's do it like this. Keep back a couple blockers. Play from exile. Triggers Pia. Gives us a ℂ𝕆𝕉𝕉. Which is very nice. End the turn. Give everything a counter. And then we have some protection. So if we need to, we can just chump block and give them all indestructible with the Light Shield Array. And then we're just going to win next turn. Which is kind of gnarly. I'm not going to lie. It's kind of nuts. Let's see if he can put up enough damage output to make it matter. Thinking we probably block everything else. And not the trample guy. Oh, he's got 2 trample guys. Alright. Well, that makes things interesting. 3 trample guys now. I mean, I think we're still okay. We obviously block 1 here. 12. And then we have to suck up all of the rest of the damage. So I think we probably go here. And we go to 1. And we'll kick that light shield array. Wow. Wow. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. All of the triggers. Absolutely nuts. This hand looks a little bit weird. We got no white, but we do have the research desk to try to find some. We're gonna try and make it work. We are going to try and make it work. Misra's research desk. Let's go, baby. District mascot, sure. A Mirex. We're gonna have to save that for next turn, aren't we? We Cori-Steel Cutter into Cheeky House Mouse next turn, I think. Which means I think we want the Questing Druid. I don't know, man. That one's tricky. You know what? Let's pass. Let's seek the beast at the end of his turn. Trying to balance being mana efficient while also curving out with enough pressure is kind of tricky. It's kind of tricky. So we'll seek the beast here. We get a Cori-Steel Cutter and a land. So we'll absolutely play you. And then we will play you. And then I guess we probably just want to play the Cheeky House Mouse, right? We miss out on the adventure, but I still think it's worth it. And then next turn, we should be able to Cori-Steel Cutter into Questing Druid? Or maybe we just get the Vantage out and we Cori-Steel Cutter into another Cheeky House Mouse, except this time we use the sorcery. Yeah, maybe we do that. Yeah, that's what I think we're doing. Hello, friend. Hello, Omatu. It's gonna destroy the Cori-Steel Cutter. I mean, I guess. We're still doing the damn thing. We'll trigger it with the Cheeky House Mouse. And we will play a tapped land and save all of our value for next turn. I mean, that's one Cori-Steel Cutter down, but we've still got one in play. Next turn, we're going to Druid into House Mouse, I think. Would really like a Nalaar right now, though. Haywire Might, so even more artifact destruction here. So the Cori-Steel Cutter is definitely going bye-bye. But we already have 2 prowess tokens still there, so... Alright, and then he'll destroy the Cutter again, right? I assume. Play the Questing Druid. Destroys the Cori-Steel Cutter. That's fine. And then we'll go Gobakhan. Pump up everything. And what are we going to do now? Cooped up. I guess probably the Cooped Up. If he wants to get rid of something, it's going to take him all of his mana. I think that makes sense. We should also do this. We don't have anything that triggers off double spells anymore, so we don't really need to save it. Attack with as much as possible so we can get counters on everything. And we will get another counter on the Questing Druid here because we were technically casting a spell. End the turn, buff up our dudes. Whew, you're in trouble, buddy. You are in trouble. He almost has to play Cooped Up on the Questing Druid, right? But we can just pop the Light Shield Array to protect it if we want to. Or we can let it go and keep this around to put counters on everything else. I mean, if he has to spend all of his mana to play that, he doesn't have good blockers. Alright. Consul. Well, the mascot's gonna die if he tries to use it, which is nice. What's cool is he doesn't really necessarily have to. Puts a counter there. Alright, he's gonna play it safe. He's not swinging. He's not swinging. Let's go with colorless sack the research desk. See what we can find. Collector's Cage. Oh man. We will definitely play the Collector's Cage. Boost up everything. Good God. What are we hiding away? What are we hiding away? Aw, he's doing it in response. Well, I guess we might as well put a counter on something then. Probably something that otherwise wouldn't get to kill stuff. Let's do that. I guess we hit a land. And we play a tapped land. This does not have first strike, right? So we'll swing him with, I mean, if we swing him with everything, he can't block the small stuff, right? Or he dies. Yeah. He's gonna have a real hard time there. Real hard time. Good God. Alright, this looks pretty good. We don't have any green, but we don't necessarily need it right away. So we'll keep 7. We'll get the Clockwork Percussionist out there right away. That way, you know, if in subsequent turns he happens to kill it, we have access to some value here. So we'll swing for 1. Storm Chaser's Talon, that's fine. How do we want to do this? We probably want a Questing Druid on his turn, right? I don't think he wants to block. I think he wants to keep his token to be aggressive. But I mean, if he does, we get extra value off of it. Alright, we'll hold up Seek the Beast. End the turn. Not only does that potentially dig us into a land to play next turn, but it also means we're that much closer to playing out the actual Questing Druid as soon as possible. And the quicker we get that out, the more counters we get on it. So I do think that's important. We can only play one of these. What would be better? That's actually a really, really difficult decision. I think in this case, because he's low on cards, and he's probably going to be trying to double spell. Yeah, let's get rid of the Cori-Steel Cutter. That's going to make life very difficult for him. And then we'll play a Squeak By. And we'll swing at the Gobakhan. And he either loses his dude, or we're 1 damage away from flipping it, which, no matter what he chooses of those two things, it's good for us. I could see the argument of just play the research desk, or just play the house mouse, or even attack without buffing our dude. And wait to see what he does. But I think staying aggressive and keeping pressure on him with him so low on cards is probably where we want to be. Alright, sleight of hand. My dog is snoring. Hey, you're a snorer. This time it's Bandit. Last time it was Bo. Now it's Bandit. Bo was prowling during the last deck tech. Now Bandit's snoring in this one. That's what happens. The boys, they do their thing. The boys, they do their thing. Do we want the Rocco Street Chef? I feel like we do. Let's just go for it, man. Play that. Get a counter. Play out a research desk. Alright, we've got more cheeky house mouse. He does have a slick shot show off, but again, he's out of gas. So he can't really play a lot to buff it up. And we can swing in and flip the Gobakhan next turn if he doesn't deal with it. Bandit, you're snoring too much, buddy. That's all I can hear in my microphone. What a goober. I'll take the counter, though. Go ahead, play your Cori-Steel Cutter. Thanks. You triggered my Rocco. So awesome. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. I don't even know if I want to flip it anymore. I kind of just want to race him at this point. Like, Rocco's so big. We need more value, don't we? I feel like we need more value. We need to deal with this somehow. We need flyers. We need to find our 𝑃 Let's do this. Painter Studio. There's our 𝑃. There's our 𝑃. So we'll get 𝑃 out. More triggers. And, I mean, I think we just have to race him. If he beats us, it will be because he kills us before we kill him. That's the only way he beats us. It won't be because of value. It won't be because of him outvaluing us. So, I think we just have to hyper-focus on killing him or holding up blockers whenever blockers might be relevant. I think it's as simple as that. Like, we definitely kill him next turn if he doesn't kill us here. Unless he holds back blockers. But if he holds back blockers, he's got no chance anyway because he won't be able to race us effectively. 5, 6, 7. Oh, he only needs to cast one more spell. We can still block, though, with 𝑃. So I'm not super concerned. And we absolutely have to, no matter what. No matter what. Ooh, that makes the trample hurt. We're not dead, though. Is that it? Okay. We might be able to win this. We definitely need to play as many things from exile as possible. Right? just to get the counters. Questing Druid is not gonna matter. Let's go the House Mouse. Use up our only white source. Alright, that's 10. We need to do 2 more. So we'll play our research desk. We could have just unlocked the room. But I think I like this better. Yeah. Even the dog's excited, man. We are on a win streak right now. We haven't lost with this deck. We definitely can't keep a 1-lander, so we are going to have to mulligan this. This looks a lot better, though. We can keep that. And then I actually think we can probably put back one of the lands. Let me be sure first. Maybe we don't risk it. Maybe we put back the Collector's Cage. Yeah, let's not risk it. We need to make sure that we can get to 4 lands so that we can double spell without needing 1-drops. Sagu Wildling. Alright, we are going to pass the turn. We're actually going to Seek the Beast on 2. If we come into a 1-drop, we can double spell off a Cori-Steel Cutter that way, which is very nice. Alright, Seek the Beast. Come on, 1-drops. Look at that. Look at that. All the 1-drops in the world. We are going to have to let one of them go, but I still think it's worth it. Alright, Cori-Steel Cutter's online. Let's smack in for 2. And then next turn, we can Questing Beasts into Defaced Gallery and do a whole lot more swinging. What you got? Another Up the Beanstalk. Okay. He's going for endgame card advantage. I don't know if that's the right call against a deck using Cori-Steel Cutter. That's fine. It slows us down, but it does not stop us. Alright, we will Questing Druid. I don't think we need to worry about the Collector's Cage yet. We'll play this because it will allow us to hit for some more damage. Alright, he's down to 15. We got Painter's Studio to get us 2 cards, Research Desk to get us a card, Collector's Cage can hide away. I think we're in good shape. I think we're going to be okay. I think we probably want a Collector's Cage, especially if he doesn't kill a creature. Does he kill the Cutter? No, he kills the Questing Druid. Wow. That is surprising. Okay. That is really surprising. We're going to do this. And then we're going to do this. And we are going to tuck away. Man, what do we even want? I think the Painter Studio Defaced Gallery is just going to be the most valuable for us. I really wanted the Nalaar, though. I really wanted the Nalaar. But we'll swing for 6. And we'll put a counter on one of these guys, so it will really be 7. So he's down to 8. And he can't just wipe our creatures. He has to get rid of our artifacts. If he doesn't get rid of our artifacts, he's in deep doo-doo. Deep doo-doo. 5 mana is not enough for the Regent. He might be out of luck, man. Alright, he's gonna kill our creatures. But I mean, I don't even know if that matters. I really don't know if that matters. Let's unlock this. Hit a land. Hit an Inti. Alright, so we are... It's not perfect. It's not perfect. But we're still set up to win next turn. Maybe we even should have kept the Inti. It's kind of hard to decide. It's possible we should have kept the Inti until next turn, so that we could double spell without having to crack something else. Alright, the River Regent's probably going to bounce. I mean, bouncing anything helps us, right? That's the problem. It just helps us double spell. So I don't know if it matters. I don't know if it matters, man. You gotta bounce both Cori-Steel Cutters, because then only one can get triggered next turn. That's what he's got to do, but I don't think he's going to. Oh! Oh my god. Are you kidding me? Oh, okay. I mean... Sure? Trigger some stuff? All the stuff? Oh my god, dude. Let's get rid of the other Meringue River Regent, I guess. We'll use the Collector's Cage on whatever's the smallest thing that can attack this turn. Oh, we screwed it up. That was a mistake. That was a mistake. So we're only going to get through for 5. Let's just do it like this then. We would have got through for 7 because of the gallery, but it still wouldn't have been lethal. So I'm kind of okay trading here, flipping, and protecting our board. We put more counters on our stuff. We get another flyer from Nalaar. And we are completely set up for next turn, so it kind of just doesn't matter at this point. We can protect our board with the Light Shield Array, which is amazing. Show me. Disruptive Stormbrood. Sure. Draw a card. Destroy something. Might be a little too late. Yeah, that's fine. I don't think it's enough, man. I don't think it's enough. Like, what else are you gonna do? You're gonna Petty Revenge and kill one of them? You could. We're just gonna crack the Light Shield Array because we win next turn. We don't need extra counters off of it. There will be none of that. Thank you. There will be none of that. Get the Painter Studio for free. Get some triggers. Get some more cards to play. Play another Gobakhan from exile. Get more triggers. Good God. Yeah, that'll do it. We will play. I guess we'll just unlock you and swing with the team because now we have 1,000,000 damage. 1,000,000 damage. Oh my god. Undefeated. Even with a mulligan, that game. Crazy. This looks pretty good. We've got all cheap stuff. We've got enough land. The only real issue is we don't have any ways to get value off of either double spelling or playing from exile yet, but hopefully we can get there. So let's keep 7. We definitely want to get that that Mishra's research desk out there as soon as possible. To try and dig closer to a Pia Nalaar or a Cori-Steel Cutter or even a Rocco Street Chef. Don't think we play Inti. We will squeak by and swing for 2 and get the desk out there. We need to find our payoffs as quick as possible. Part of that is Inti digging. Part of that is maybe cracking the research desk. There's our payoff. So we'll go Cori-Steel Cutter and we will save the prowess trigger. So we'll actually play this in order to get the double spell. Alright, swing in for 3. Looks pretty good. Bandit is still snoring away. Hey buddy, you want some dinner? That woke you up, didn't it? Oh, the other boys heard. All the boys heard me. Here they come. Hey, stop whining. There will be no whining. What's more important, that we double spell or we get Rocco out? I think right now we just want to double spell. In fact, I'm almost thinking we discard the Rocco. This is the thing we want to die the least. So we'll pump it up and we'll swing in. You know what? Let's not. It's only going to be 1 counter. We can't play whatever we exile. I like getting it out there, but I don't think it makes sense to discard the Rocco. It'll help us gas up later on if we need to. Alright, we have another card to cast until the end of our next turn. And we will end the turn. Whole lot of value here. We do want to try to double spell before attacking with Inti because of Cori-Steel Cutter. Wildwood Scourge, sure. So I think we are going to crack the research desk and see what we can hit. Pia and Questing Druid. I mean, that's actually kind of a difficult decision. I think we'll try and take the Pia. So we'll start by playing that. We'll play the land. We'll play a cheeky house mouse. Okay. I guess he's just gonna scoop. He's seen enough. Thanks so much for checking out my channel. I'd like to give a huge shout out to all of my patrons over at Patreon. Without you guys, this channel would not be possible, so honestly, thank you from the bottom of my heart for all of your contributions. If you haven't yet, like and subscribe. The more likes we get and the quicker we get them, the bigger this channel will grow and the faster it will grow. I'd love nothing more than this channel to become something very special for you guys, but it's entirely up to you how fast that happens. Also, if you'd like more deck text, that's somewhere over there. And if you'd like to see what else the channel's been up to lately, that's somewhere up that way. Also, subscribe, circle below, do all the things.